Have you ever walked away from a conversation and thought, why couldn't I just say that in the moment?
Why your mind goes blank when people ask questions is because their demand exceeds your capacity. Therefore, your thinking will narrow. Now, you might think it's panic, but it's not. It's protection. Your brain is not failing you. It's actually buying time.
Like myself, you've asked yourself that. And I came up with a few reasons as to why this probably happened. So I'm going to do them in numerical order, no importance. You're trying to sound perfect, thinking faster than you actually speak. Afraid of saying the wrong thing. Caring about the opinion of the other person.
I have a really hard time putting my thoughts into words and articulating what I'm trying to say. In my head, I talk so well. And then the moment I open my mouth, I feel like I start to stutter or forget what I'm thinking, or the words don't come out the same way that they do that when they're in my head. Does that make sense? So when I'm talking, I feel dumb because it's not coming out the way I'm meaning for it to come out. And I'm not good at explaining things. For some reason, it's it makes perfect sense up here, and then when it's coming out of my mouth, it sounds stupid. But I say that to say that I don't know how to fix that. And it's I've kind of always been like that since I was younger, but I feel like it's getting worse. And I don't know if it's my memory is getting worse because of trauma or old age. So I feel like I've been trying to download games to help with my memory, because I'm okay, maybe that will make my brain stronger. Or maybe I need to take vitamins or something. Or maybe I need to go back to school and exercise my brain more. I don't know. I don't know what to do to fix that, but I'm really sick of it because it's just getting worse.
Like the girl in the clip, I am learning to communicate better, make better decisions, and be more confident in my communication. Hi, I'm Samil, and welcome to the Stinson method. I'm just a 40-year-old wanting to have a better life than the last 20 years or so. So if this sounds like you, I would love for you to subscribe, hit the like button, and let's go on this journey together. So today's question that I would like to pose is, have you ever been in a conversation where you actually knew what you were probably going to say before the conversation? Or maybe it was one of those conversations where you didn't, but you knew the answer. You were thinking about the answer, but you didn't answer it like you wanted to. And then after, you're driving down the road and was like, I could have answered that better. I had the answer. Let's talk about that. Let's get comfortable. I hope you're driving down the road or washing dishes or something. You ain't got to look at me, even though I know I'm cute. So I have my notes here because I did write a lot of things down, and I just want to make sure that I cover everything. Again, we're talking about communication skills. And I know that, like myself, a lot of women, we deal with not being able to communicate efficiently or confidently. As I mentioned earlier, you're trying to get it right. You're trying to edit yourself while you're actually talking. Before we finish one sentence, we're thinking about the next response. We're tripping over our words. We're rambling. Our voice and our pitch is getting higher because our insides is getting warm. We're getting nervous. You ask your brain, did I sound stupid in the moment? Did they understand me? Did I make sense? Maybe I should have said it differently. Meanwhile, the conversation is still going. And all of that just played in your head. My takeaway from that, you can't have a natural conversation if you're too busy being in your thoughts. What we tend to forget is that our brain moves incredibly fast. Like I said before, sometimes you may have different thoughts than what was actually going to come out of your mouth. Trying to slow down and express yourself and state one clear thought at a time, we get overwhelmed. And then we probably just shut down. The result is silence. Even though we really wanted to speak, even though our voices wanted to be heard, we just had too much going on. My takeaway from that: let's slow our thoughts down, think slower, and I'm pretty sure what is supposed to come out will naturally just flow. Whew. But this next one, I deal with this a lot myself. And that is, I, or we, care too much about the opinion of the other person. Sometimes we're not even thinking in the conversation or about the conversation. We're actually thinking about thoughts of the other person and what they may be thinking about us. We have questions like, do you think I'm smart? Do you think I sound stupid? Do you even think I belong here? When you are not focused on the conversation and rather you're focused on yourself, it's hard to really be in the moment of the conversation because your mind is going a mile a minute when you're actually just supposed to relax and go with the flow of things. You know what you want to say. Stop overthinking it. My takeaway for this: presence is more powerful than perfection. I heard online that if you want to improve your communication skills, you listen to the lawyer girlies. And I am not at all negating that. But what I will say, I so admire this weather lady. I love how she speaks. It's just a calming tone. And I think she is bilingual. So, I mean, when she speaks, it's just an airy type of feeling. That could be that she does the weather. I don't know. But I really love her dialect, her speed of speech, and just how calm she is when she talks. Why not?
This is not a goodbye in the truest sense. You'll still find me on social media, maybe doing the anchor voice a couple times here and there. And I look forward to connecting with you all there. So thank you for all of this.
This time last year, I stepped away from my career and took a bet on myself. What followed was a year filled with moments I'll never forget. Laughing with friends, dancing, making memories, doing the things I love. I spent long overdue time with family, sharing holidays and creating moments we'll hold on to forever. I partnered with brands I've admired for years, from Target to Sephora, collaborations that felt like dreams turned reality. I poured into causes that are near and dear to my heart, giving back in ways that felt meaningful and fulfilling. I met so many of you, my community, face to face, and heard how my journey has impacted yours. Being recognized by you has been one of the greatest honors. I launched my newsletter and podcast, took new creative risks, made the Sephora squad, which led to the surreal moment of seeing my face on a Times Square billboard. This year has been a reminder. Here's to trusting the process and taking the leap, because it's always, always worth it. And if you feel fear, it doesn't mean you're not ready. It just means you're human.
Who doesn't want to talk like that? I know I do. I've noticed with a lot of people, especially when they start rambling or somebody asks you a question, you just think that you're supposed to say something. No, you're supposed to pause and think about your answer and then speak. And that has actually helped me because that keeps away the ums and I just pause. And I kind of go over my answer in my head, and you could probably see me thinking about it. But it's better than having every 5 words. So pause. And this kind of relates back to what I just said about rambling. I always thought the most confident speaker was the one that as soon as you ask them a question, they just blah, 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 blah. And as I got older and I started to consume more content about communication, it's really all about the pause and giving yourself that permission to pause and think and let the words just flow. I'm seeing the most confident speakers, whether they are on a TED Talk or they're doing, I believe it's a commencement speech, like at the graduations, they're pausing. They're not rambling because they want you to hear and understand what they're saying. So being confident doesn't mean you have to ramble anymore. Just take a pause and sit back and start talking. And I think my takeaway from this one is that silence is wisdom, not being awkward. Nobody thinks because you pause that you are inadequate of answering the question, or that you're silly or dumb or stupid. No, take that time to really give a thoughtful answer. People appreciate that. Let's do a quick story time. Don't laugh at me when I tell you this, right? So interviews, I hate them. I fear them. I fear them with a passion. That's like a level of fear unlocked. And especially a panel interview. Oh my God. Like I'm sweating. My palms are sweating. My heart is damn near in my underwear. Like I hate it. I hate it with a passion. So the job that I'm at right now, I had to do a panel interview. And on top of that, I knew that I had to do a panel interview, right? I practiced the, tell me about yourself question. I practiced well, in this situation, what would you do? Right? You use the STAR method. I practiced. I even practiced saying my name because in situations like that, I probably would forget, knowing me, right? I get there. I am presenting very well. My outfit screams, hire me, right? I'm there. I got my folder with my resume just in case they ask. They ask me simple questions. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. My name is such and such, where I previous worked. They ask me tell me about yourself question. Why, yes, I've worked in such and such field, taking care of, trying to remember what exactly I said, taking care of clients, having over answering 100 calls per day, and making sure that my clients are very satisfied when they got off the line. Now, it was more detailed than that. I'm just giving you the short version. It was something else that they asked. It was like a question about something I never experienced, right? And you have to come up with something on the spot. And I think I just started sweating. My palms were sweating. And I started looking all over the room. They could tell I was nervous, right? And I was thinking it was something about like receiving benefits, or if you have to decline a client of benefits. And I started talking, and then I just started crying. Not boohoo crying. Not boohoo crying, but just kind of whimpering. And I was like, oh my God, I got to get it together. Like I have to get it together because that was so embarrassing. Like embarrassing, right? So from that point forward, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stay at this job because I don't want to go through another interview at all, right? Good gracious. I hate panel interviews. I hate it. If you're like me, you probably want to know, well, how do I get over the fear? How do I communicate better? Of course, they're going to say you read, right? I get that. Read. I get it. I know. I got it. I know to read. I know. But doing these YouTube videos, see there, doing these YouTube videos is definitely helping me, because it seems like it's like an interview process in itself. Being able to speak on camera, knowing that people are going to watch this, it is tedious, but I know this is something that I want to improve. So I'm also saying to you, maybe take a day out the week, write a script, have an outline, turn your camera on, and start talking. And the next day, not the same day, I want you to play it back. And I want you to watch it and listen. Really listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth. And then the next day, because I'm doing this in days because I don't want to overwhelm you, watch your body language. Watch your hand motions. What are you doing with your eyeballs? What are you doing with your hands? Watch that body language. And then the next day, download a transcript. Yeah. Download a transcript of what you said so you can actually see the words. And if you were saying and listen back. And then try it again next week. And the week after. That was my first thing. While I'm practicing, I'm thinking to give myself permission to pause. Instead of those filler words that we just spoke about, pause. And then start talking. Then get your thought out. You'll thank me. Ask questions. If you're in a situation where you are talking to people and you're in a group setting, or you're either one-on-one, ask questions. People love to talk about themselves. But at the same time, if this is something that you are practicing, then you can listen to the different styles of people talking. And then that way you can go back home and you can practice. But just pause. Lastly, accept that every sentence that comes out is not going to be perfect. You're still going to go back and say, I could have did this better. Or I should have said this. Or why did I not think of this? Just remember, this is an ongoing process. And that it's up to you to decide to improve. In closing, I really don't think that we struggle because we're not smart. I think that we struggle because we overthink and we don't want to seem like we're dumb. The goal is not to have the best response, but maybe the goal is to be present enough to simply just have an honest conversation. And that, my friends, is where communication begins. If you like this and you want to see more, please subscribe and like this video so that it gets out to other women like yourself that are maybe shy, introverted, and maybe not either or. Maybe they're extroverted and still feel a insecurity about their communication skills. I am building a free live Zoom group. I am building a free live Zoom group where this will be a safe place for women of all ages to come and practice our different communication styles, speaking to one another, answering questions on the fly, and just having good girl talk while learning. Until the next one.